Well, there are three things that I want to suggest to you tonight about the power of God in relationship to what Jesus was talking about. The first thing is the power of God is in the message of the cross. It is in the message of the cross. 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 18, Paul writes, and he says this, "For the preaching of the cross is to them that perish foolishness, but unto us which are being saved, which are saved, it is the dunamis of God." It is the very power of God. Now, I don't know what you're going to think about what I'm about to say, but I have watched this over the last 10 to 15 years take place in this country and around the world. And that is, we have ceased to believe that the power of God is in the preaching of the message of the cross. We preach everything else. We do everything else. But we do not confront men and women with this message of the cross of Jesus Christ and all of the implications that are found in the Word of God about this great message. And if there is going to be a release of the power of God in this nation, in your nation, in our churches, we are going to have to go back to the preaching of the old-time, old-fashioned message of the cross. Because it's the cross that deals with sin. It's the cross that deals with self. It's the cross that transforms lives. It's the cross. It's what Christ did on the cross. And what He did on the cross is the very power of God. When we speak that message, when we proclaim that message of what He did and how it affects the lives of men and women, it is the very power of God released. The very power of God released. I just came back from Peru and preached a citywide evangelistic meeting in Lima. It was in political turmoil, and it was supposed to be an evangelistic meeting. It was more of a revival meeting for God's people than evangelism for those who don't know Christ. But during those days, the pastors, and this was all the denominations of all the churches, we met together, we prayed together, we talked together about what revival is, about how to reach the city for Christ, and we discussed some of these things. And I asked them, I said, well, what have you had here in Lima? I want to tell you what they told me. And by the way, most of this is exported from the United States and Canada. They said, Sammy, all we have had is shows. So on the charismatic side, they come to town with the signs and wonders and miracle show. And very few lives are really changed. You know, they come in preaching signs, wonders, and miracles. And said on the non-charismatic side, on the evangelical non-charismatic side, they come in with their shows too. But their shows are musicians. They bring in all the big name, hot Latin Christian singers. And we find very few changed lives. And they found themselves in a state where their country is literally in peril, where the nation is in a total upheaval politically, and the church is powerless because there's been very little proclaiming of the message of the cross. And everywhere I go, I get the same story. Very little, just simple preaching of the word of the cross. It is the very power of God to change lives.